Hi everyone, welcome into Wellverse Creations. I'm going to make the cover now for this beautiful Hummingbird Florals journal that I'm working on. And this is a beautiful summertime, and it could work for a lot of different applications. I even used some of this for a baby book. So I've kind of gone through all the pages in a previous video if you're interested. And now what I'm going to do is make the cover. So I've got an old book, and also in a previous video I showed how to do this, and I've cut the pages out already. So here are the pages that were in, and they were like this, and I just ran an X-Acto knife down and lifted the pages out. Okay, so what I've done is just prepare my material, and I just cut it, and I've mitered the edges, the corners here, and then I'm going to use two-sided tape, and I'm going to start in the middle right here on the spine and peel it and stick it. Okay, so just going to press that into place. Continue just peeling this and smoothing it down as I go. So I think that's going to look pretty good. So now I'm just finishing. I've got a little strip of tape here, and then I'm doing the rest with some hot glue. So this is it so far, and I will be adding all the decorations next. And oh, I forgot, I gotta do this. So what I did, like I said, I just cut this out, and I have simply doubled it. And the reason I'm rubbing that is just to flatten it out a little bit, because the hot glue has a little bit of thickness to it. So this little piece is done. I've just used hot glue. It won't show because this will have the signatures sewn to it. So from the outside of this journal, you won't see the sewing that I'm gonna do. It'll be a hidden spine. Can't wait to decorate it. Okay, so let's see what it's like with our pages in here. Oh, it's perfect. I love it when a book cover is small enough that I have some overhang with all my fluff. Okay, so what we're going to do is continue making the cover for a beautiful journal that has the hummingbirds and all the beautiful spring and summer florals. And I decided to use one of the pages from the Hummingbird Kit from my Porch Prints. And I just I think I printed this at 70% just to make it a little bit smaller, and I want to decorate around the sides. Okay, so I've got this lace applique, and I bought this off Etsy as well. And it looks like just bits and pieces off of perhaps a wedding dress or something like that. So I decided to kind of rough this up a little bit. It's just looking a little too perfect, and so I'm just kind of using a pair of scissors to kind of give it some little rips and tears that I can then kind of bend the little corners. Okay, so now I'm using this piece of scrap paper as my little background. And I'm just gonna ink this up a little bit on this piece of scrap. I went through just some of my 12 by 12 paper pads, and I just need to use them. I thought this was kind of a cool look because it looks sort of tree-ish. So I could tear some of this. That's a little better. This top piece. So I'm really liking that now. I love the contrast too with the kind of wood look in the background. And then if we bring in our cover, and again, this is just an old book, a vintage book that I covered with this really pretty material that I just picked up at a local craft store. And I just love that really soft pink. So, and then I might use these still. I think these are kind of fun on the edges. I do like that. I think that looks really good. Now what I'm doing is adding a little bit of ink to this pink cloth that I've used as the cover because I just want it to have a distressed kind of vintage look to it. What do I want inside? Kind of like that, but I also thought this blonde would look very beautiful. This is here. Okay, so I think I'm going to do that on the inside. I can always put something over it. Sometimes I like to do something on the lowdown on the inside so that I can then use a beautiful pocket that has more of a print to it. So that way I'm not regretting my choice later, because sometimes if I do too many patterns, it just looks kind of busy. So on the inside, I've got the blonde wood. I'm loving that. Okay, so now we've got our signatures that will go in like so. And I'll be adding some more paper. So usually what I do is add some short papers and some other little cute items in here, but that's just the beginning. So then on this cover, I'm really enjoying this combo along here. And you can use a different type glue if you're gluing paper to material, but I prefer the hot glue because it's so strong and it's so fast. And I've done it so many times that I know for sure it will hold. And I don't have to wait. I can just proceed with making the rest of my cover. In here, I'm just going to glue where it can't be seen. And I'm just doing a little bit at a time because my hot glue dries so fast. And that is what I love about it. It's so strong and instantaneous that just can't be beat for something like this. Gosh, that's pretty. Super gorgeous. Glad I went through my paper pads because that's where I found this wood look. I'm going to make a little booklet out of this. So I've got this little folded piece that will attach like so, so that this can then open. Okay, so now I'm just putting my hinge on. I just made this cute little booklet to go inside. Fun little tablet. And I'm going to tie this off camera so I can hold it. So here it is tied in, and I just tied this to my little hinge. So perfect. So I've got my pretty piece of lace, the music sheet, beautiful spritz sparkles, and then this piece. Very cute. Now what I'm going to do is attach the pages to this little piece that goes in the spine. So once I attach them, they'll go in here, and I will glue them in place. And so then I will have a hidden spine. So what I did, I punched my holes. I only have 2 signatures. And then I punched my holes in my signatures. I'm going to start in the middle. So I'm going to put the front one on first, and I'm going to go through the middle. Then through the top. There we go. To go down to the very end here. And then I'm going to go back into the middle here. Okay, so I brought both of these back through, and let's see, I'll trim those a little bit, but I'll probably put some kind of a dangle on these. I'm going to use this tacky glue. I'm going to put some in here. This will give me just enough working time. Although once I get this seated, I will wish that it could be dry instantly so I could continue working and decorating instead of having to wait. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in here and just push down just to get the pages seated. This is just helping to push that little spine piece down into the curved spine of the book. Okay, now I'm just going to clamp it together and let it sit up overnight. But actually, I'm going to put a little bit of paper towel. And the reason I'm doing that is I don't want this clamp to make a mark. There, perfect. Okay, so see, it's just sitting just like that overnight.